Hey, how's it going, everyone? I think I'm connected. Yeah, I think I'm connected. Sorry about that. Hi, everyone. How's it going? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, Sam Beckett, you're right. It's 22 blocks, but you never know. Could be quicker than that. Have we bottomed out? I think we are still bottoming out as we go forward at the moment. I don't think we've even reached the full dip yet. Um, but we probably aren't going to make it to the actual adjustment, but we can still talk about what adjustments are. I thought rather than make a video, I wanted to make a video on Bitcoin's difficulty adjustments anyway, but why not actually just go live given what's happening here? It's a very exciting time, even if we don't. Waiting for blocks on live stream is one of the weirdest things. I've done it before. It's not it's quite fun, but you can be waiting for a long time. I don't deny it though. 22 blocks may take another 12 hours. We can take a look at it. I'm just going to quickly turn on a video capture. Turn this off. Yeah, there we go. How are we looking? We're on 689,450. The next adjustment comes on. Let's take a look. Does this say the block height? Where are we looking here? Reachable Bitcoin nodes. Well, it's 22 blocks, so of course 72. 689,472. That's what block we're waiting for. It's been 43 minutes since a block. According to this, we got a 28% downward difficulty adjustment. As I said in the title, it's the biggest ever downwards adjustment for Bitcoin. And it's amazing because that's as significant as it gets. And some people might think, oh, sorry, I should probably go back to my main camera. There we go. This is amazing because, guys, we've just come under the most hardcore attack and shrugged off the most persistent and annoying FUD that we've had to deal with in Bitcoin, which is the China FUD. This has been so annoying to deal with for so many years because people have said, all your mining's happening in China. What happens if China goes, that's it, we're against Bitcoin now? And China's feeling cocky right now because China is just getting its way. It's doing whatever it likes. It's invading wherever it likes. It's, hey, Dust Record, how are you, man? I'm glad you got your MyNode syncing. We can talk about those products in a little bit. I like MyNode. I have some exciting news about in that space, but I'll start talking about that in a minute. So yeah, we've got China. We've got the thing everyone was afraid of. All your mining, all your hash power is sitting in China, or 60-70% of it is. What happens if China turns hostile to Bitcoin? This is what happens. You get a downward difficulty adjustment and some slower blocks for a couple of weeks. And that's it. And then Bitcoin carries on as normal. This is just amazing to me. It's just so resilient. This is the worst thing that can happen to Bitcoin, or one of the worst. And this is it. We just shrugged it off like it's nothing. Evan Pax, sup? Just tuning in. Great content, bro. Thanks, man. I wonder, are you the Evan I met in Miami? If you're not, sorry about that. Thanks for tuning in either way. Yeah, it's a good thing. What's going on here is really, really exciting. I just find it amazing how just name to me something else that is the scale and the size that Bitcoin is, where if China turned around and said, that's it, we're making you illegal, where you could just go, meh, we don't care. All the hash rate is going to leave. No, sir, fair enough. Yeah, you're a different Evan. You're a noob. All right, well, listen, man, we're all noobs. You're going to learn a lot the longer you stay in Bitcoin, and you're going to feel like a noob for years. And one day, you're going to realize, oh my God, everyone else in this space, I can't believe how much I've learned. I've been here for, I've been here for 10 years. I was speaking with my friend Shinobi last night, and I still feel like I don't have half a clue about Bitcoin. But I know that I know more than most of the people that have YouTube channels or big Twitter accounts or anyone with crypto in their name. So it's just become necessary for me to start getting at least what I know out there. And I've had to do a lot of learning in public. It's kind of embarrassing to do, but stay humble, stack sats, they say. I respect Matt Odell. I respect Marty Bent. These guys, we all know what's up, and just stay the course, man. It's just learn. You'll always feel like that if you're honest with yourself in this space. But anyway, so it doesn't look like if we even manage to find one block in the next hour, it's going to be, well, no, we'll definitely find a block in the next hour because it's already been 47 minutes since the last block. And, I think the record biggest gap ever is around 2 hours between blocks. And that's happened in this period as well because we've just had so much hash rate go offline. So much hash rate. And have you all seen the pictures? I'm just going to find it now and bring it up. Miners hash rate leaving China. I should have pulled this up before, but let's see. We did have some really amazing pictures show up. Sadly, I don't think I'm going to be able to find that. It was just on Twitter a lot. It's been described as one of the greatest mistakes an empire has ever made. And I think it is. I think China kicking out all of their miners is just such a profound and deep mistake. And it's going to hurt them so bad. And I'm so happy it's happening. I found learning about BIP39 passphrase for plausible deniability is just genius. Yeah, they are, and they should be used whenever possible. They even protect against physical hacks on the device. If your Trezor or your cold card or your ledger has a passphrase and they do one of those analysis attacks where they analyze the electricity being drawn from the device, that attack, which is an insane attack that no one's ever going to do, a passphrase makes that not effective. Yale, hey, what's up, man? Mr. Wumbles. Block 689-300 to 689-301. 627 to 846. That was the biggest ever gap, right? What's that? 2 hours and 20 minutes, I want to say. Yeah, 2 hours and 19 minutes. And that was this period, right? 689, where are we at? Yeah, we're at 689. That was the biggest ever gap between two blocks, right? I love it. And there's so many silver linings, guys, with this, because you have these stupid exchanges like blockchain.info or blockchain.com, they are now, and Coinbase. And because of the scaling wars and their butthurt over the fact that we went with efficiency over just making blocks bigger, they decided to never use any of the good practices that save space in the blockchain. And when hash rate drops like this and blocks become rarer, that means transaction fees go up even higher. And that means that using those stupid practices gets more and more expensive. So it's forced a few of those companies to start using SegWit and, acting like they have any respect for the scarcity of the available data that the space we have available to us in the blockchain, rather than just pissing away all the space by just doing one-on-one transaction and using legacy addresses for everything. They finally started batching. They finally started using SegWit. It was this period, Yale. Fees go up, mining incentive goes up, difficulty down, number go up. Yeah, difficulty go down. Every American miner is so happy right now. They're going to make 20-30% more Bitcoin. I think the math works out right. I think it's 1-to-1 ratio. If the difficulty drops 28%, they don't make 28% more Bitcoin, because that's not how percentages work. But they do use 28% less electricity to mine the same amount of Bitcoin. I can't do it in reverse, guys. I can't figure out the math in my head right now. But they're going to make between 25 and 35% more Bitcoin than they would have this period, which is amazing. Number goes up. Yeah, Bitcoin wins. I don't think there's any scenario where Bitcoin doesn't go up. Like, you attack it, it goes up. You make it illegal, it definitely goes up. If El Salvador said, "Oh, we're not going to take it as legal tender," eventually that means number goes up. It really does, because what would that mean? It would mean we're not friendly to it anymore. We're hostile. We've been bribed by the IMF, or the economic hitmen have come for us, so we have to abandon this. What about all their population that was excited about it? They're just going to do it anyway, right? and they're going to have to do it on the quiet, which means buying it slyly, paying more money for it. Everything means Bitcoin's price goes up. It's just the one rule: number go up technology. I'm glad you're there. So I should probably mention there's just a nice development in my own personal life. A company I go on about a lot, Start9. They make, you mentioned MyNode earlier, Das Record. They're another full node company, a Pi node kind of thing, but they do a lot more than that, and I show them a lot on my channel just because I like what they do. It's a whole digital self-sovereign suite. It's not just Bitcoin. It's also host your own chat and over Matrix, which is incredible. It's the best chat experience I've had, though it is a little clunky. And it's a little bit unreliable in comparison to the centralized services, but it's the only time I feel like I'm having a truly private conversation over a chat service. You can host your own Mastodon instance, you can host your own file server, you can host your own website with a Tor hidden service. All of this stuff is uncensorable and no one can ever trace it back to you either. It's incredible because everything's done over Tor hidden services. So I think I'm going to be taking a job with those guys. So I won't be able to shill them anymore and say, I have no economic interest in this or, whatever. I think I'm going to finally be doing a job. I don't expect it'll be a high paying job, but I love the company. I want to work for them. I want to promote what they do. I think I've been doing it unpaid anyway, so it makes sense to take a job. That's going to be a lot of fun. I'm heading down to Mexico with my family in a couple of weeks to do the Bitcoin Standard Conference and also to audition it as a place to live. Really looking forward to that. That's a conference organized by Ugly Old Goat. And there's going to be a lot of Bitcoin maxis there. It's a real maximalist conference. They've had Saifedean at it. I don't know if he's going this year. They got Giacomo Zucco. They got Jimmy Song. They got Tone Vase. They got Guy Swan. Who else have they got? I don't know. But a lot of interesting people there. They've got a whole panel on the Thank God for Bitcoin book, which was written by Jimmy Song, but also Robert Breedlove. But I don't know if he's going to show up to Bitcoin maximalist events now. Learning about setting up Mastodon. Mastodon is kind of a bifurcated, federated network in that the instances that you will host if you get a Start9 embassy like I've got won't be able to connect with the Bitcoin hackers instance because Rudolfo won't upgrade it to support Tor. And that's on the ClearNet, the Bitcoin hackers instance. So I'm not really that interested in it anyway, though I do have an account with it. The one I host myself with my embassy is over Tor, which means I can't connect to Mastodon instances that haven't upgraded to allow that. I've offered him money. He's not gone for it. I really wanted to upgrade it so I can federate with the Bitcoin hackers instance, with my instance. Self-hosted social networking is kind of interesting to me, but I don't think it's the killer app for this self-sovereign digital nature stuff. I don't think it's actually what's going to make the thing catch on, because social media kind of sucks, let's be honest. Honk Hogan, the beard is on point. Thank you for that, man. My girlfriend, before the stream, she got some water and oil and insisted, so I learned not to resist these things anymore. Is there an anonymous payment method for BISC? Good question. You mean when buying Bitcoin? Is that your question? I hope I'm responding quick enough here. I've got it on really low latency, so hopefully I can actually talk back and forth a bit. I see there's like 5 seconds of delay here. That should be not bad. To buy Bitcoin on BISC anonymously? Good question. I don't think so. Unless, no, there is, because you can actually make cash deals on BISC. People will accept cash. You kind of are walking away from most of the benefit of BISC if you use it that way, because if you're just going to give someone cash and get Bitcoin back, you might... In fact, I've found people over BISC that do this, and you very quickly move off the BISC platform and just organize it in person, because there's not really much point doing it the other way. Because you just end up doing 4 transactions on the blockchain when you only really need to do 1, and there's nothing really that BISC's arbitrators can do for you if the thing doesn't work out. They can potentially, if there's... actually, no, I take that back. Yeah, I think it's a good way to do it. But if you find a cash seller, I mean, I wouldn't mail anyone cash in the post and expect them to give you Bitcoin. Maybe if they have a good and established reputation, or you have one, connection with them somehow. But that's anonymous, right? Bank account methods are obviously not anonymous. You could also, dare I say it, buy Bitcoin using shitcoins. That would be kind of anonymous, particularly if you're using a privacy coin. I've actually I'm doing a video soon on Monero, because it's one of the more interesting altcoins. Don't worry, I'm not losing my soul. I'm not selling my soul in any way. But in order to debunk it, I have to understand it. And I want to be fair, so I have to acknowledge the use cases of it. I will just be clear in this video, in case anyone wants to watch that eventual debate that I do, and it will be with Giacomo Zucco and Tone Vase. My conclusion with it is it doesn't make any sense to buy it and hold it, except for very, very specific circumstances, which are real. So I don't want to take away from people that are in those circumstances, but it's not what Bitcoin is, and it doesn't make sense to be treated that way. What if I had a use case for a community of psychedelic experience facilitators? Can use Amazon gift card, okay? Oh, sorry, that's unrelated. What if I had a use case for a community of psychedelic... Everyone in Bitcoin's into psychedelics from what I can see. Set it up. I'm sure people will show up. Like, I've helped in the ayahuasca world turn them onto Bitcoin, and if you're outside, you can't take credit card if you're a shaman taking people into the forest, to doing mushrooms with them. These people don't take long to understand Bitcoin, particularly if they're South American. You can use an Amazon gift card. I don't know how anonymous that is, Das Record. I assume the people get a fake ID. I don't know what that's in reference to. You don't need any ID for BISC. It doesn't ask for it. I think fast blonks means number go down for a while, but honey badger don't give a fuck. Fast blonks, maybe. I don't think so. I tried to sign up for Strike via the Chrome extension, and I can't because I'm Canadian. I know, bro. Cry's in Canadian. Every day there's some service. I want the Fold credit card. I really want it. Nope, you're Canadian. I really want Strike, obviously. But, everyone's middle class. And middle class people don't get Strike. You have to be either the richest person in the world, i.e. an American, or the poorest, an El Salvadoran. Those are the only two people that get access to Strike right now. We are neither of them. We are Canadian, so we don't deserve it, which is sad. I really, really want Strike for obvious reasons, though they are a custodial platform, even though they say they're non-custodial, and then go on to define non-custodial as the user doesn't have custody over their Bitcoin. It's not... There are problems with Strike, but Jack Mallers is such a good actor in the space that I think things will be sorted out. Canadian market on BISC has been good in my experience. I agree. I've used it. Not the most liquid, but reliable participants. Das Record, I've never had a bad experience on BISC. I've never once had anyone try to scam me. I've only had really polite... excellent people. I've used it both on the UK currency, the pound, and the Canadian dollar. Do your own research is not bad. That is how you can compare facts. Yeah, I've had to learn a lot about Monero lately, because I'm not just going to sit there and go, it's a shitcoin, without really knowing anything about it. Monero deserves respect that none of the other shitcoins deserve. I will definitely say that. I do not own any. I'm never going to buy any. There's no need for me to buy any. That's true of 99% of people. That's not true for Bitcoin. But Monero, while it's in its current stage of development, does have uses, and those will sadly disappear as the project gains. If the project gets more successful, all of the privacy features of it will become worse and worse because of the scaling problems they have. So that's the sad thing about Monero. This is why I had to give Monero more respect than everything else, because the people that like it have the right ideology. Like Edward Snowden came out in favor of privacy coins because they're not bullshit. They're not vaporware scams like Ethereum. Like the privacy coins actually have a reason to exist, or at least a reason for people to want them to exist. Obviously, Zcash and Dash are both complete jokes, but Monero wasn't. And sadly, just a result of being able to do what it does, i.e. privacy, the fact that it can do that means that they have to make compromises in other places, and basically scaling and centralization are both fucked. So Monero actually works as a privacy coin at the moment. If it gets adopted like the Monero community want, then it will hit a brick wall and die, which is, it's a very painful thing. If it wasn't going to do that, if there was a technical way around that worked, I would say, you know what, actually Monero is a good thing, but sadly it's just not. It serves a very limited purpose, and but it does actually have a purpose, unlike any other shitcoin. Private chat server using Startup 9 for psychedelic users who want to stay private. Do it. Set up. You don't need to use a Start 9. You're calling it Startup 9. They are a startup, but they're just called Start 9. Set it up. Host your own Matrix instance over Tor. Synapse is the implementation. Then you use Elements as an app, which is kind of like Slack or any other messaging platform, but you tell it to connect to your own server over Tor. So you need to be running Tor, the daemon, in your laptop, or Orbot on an Android phone. You can't do this on an iPhone yet. And then you just connect your Elements app over the Tor network to your own Tor-hosted Matrix server. Then all of your messages are stored on your own personal server. No one knows where that is because it's all happening over Tor. Assuming the Tor network works, which it does, but it has its problems. And then you're good. And you can only talk to other people that are doing the same thing. So when I talk to people on Matrix, it's a one-on-one chat. And in my instance, they're running a Start9 embassy. I'm running a Start9 embassy. We chat over the two of them. Everything's going over Tor. All the data is hosted personally. That's it. And I've never felt, you're getting rid of, it makes Signal look like an absolute joke. And it's amazing, guys. This is groundbreaking for me. It's what I've been looking for 10 years, and I finally have it. Start9, you corrected yourself. My bad, I didn't see that. I don't have a huge issue buying corn. I just wanted to check out Strike, and I'm curious to see the various trade-offs in end-user Lightning. I have not yet gotten on the Lightning. Lightning is... We got Moon Wallet now, bro. Just get Moon Wallet. Everything's in a channel, but it's also simultaneously not in a channel. So you can use Lightning if you want. You don't need to commit funds to it exactly because they're just at normal Bitcoin addresses at the same time. That's a little bit of a stupid way of describing it, but for small, Lightning's only for small amounts anyway, right? So maybe put 1 million sats. Wait, that is a lot now, isn't it? What's 1 million sats? 300, 400, 500 bucks. Yeah, that's worth putting in a Lightning wallet. I think Moon Wallet and maybe Phoenix as a close second, but Moon is doing Lightning the way it should be done. Could you direct me to the best step-by-step guide? Thank you so much for your advice. No problem, man. For setting up Matrix, I would just use an embassy, man. If you don't want to feel like I'm asking, like, because I work for the company now, or I'm about to anyway, rather than shill them, you're totally free to just compile it yourself. In July, they're releasing 0.3, which is a total overhaul, rather than Haskell, which is a pain to use on a Raspberry Pi, because you have to compile the whole thing on the Raspberry Pi. They got rid of Haskell. Everything's written in Rust now. So there aren't a bunch of different programming languages that you have to install. You can just compile the whole thing yourself. And in 0.3, it's going to be a lot easier. So once you've done that, it's one click to install Matrix on there. And it's written so well by these guys that, I don't know about you, but when I've just compiled Bitcoin Core from source on a Raspberry Pi and run it, it just, once every 4 or 5 days, it just goes down for no reason. I've tried using brand new SD cards. I've tried using brand new solid state drives. I've tried using better power supplies. For some reason, Raspberry Pis, I've just found them to be pretty unreliable. I know they have a habit of destroying SD cards, but what the Start9 guys have done is they've made really, really robust software. I've been running my embassy for about 7 months now. I've only had the thing crash on me once, which I'm really impressed about. I have an Umbrel node as well. That thing goes down roughly twice a day. I get a message in my Telegram telling me my Lightning node has gone offline. It goes on twice a day. So not having a great time with Umbrel. But Umbrel's basically just it's free, open source. I respect the guys. I love the project, even though they're getting a lot of hate lately. I still respect them. My node as well, who you already mentioned. There's loads of great projects like this, but Start9's on a different level, guys. It's a paid product for a reason, because it's just got so much robustness built into it. It really doesn't crash like everything else. And if you're running a chat service or a website, you don't want that to go down twice a day. You really don't, because it just becomes a toy. It's got to be reliable, especially if you're running Lightning channels. You need that stuff to be up all the time. If you want to get routing fees, you need to be up 24 hours a day, because otherwise people just won't use in Lightning. The main factor in people selecting nodes to make channels with or to route through, the main factor they're looking at it is not how big the channel is or anything like that. There are so many metrics to look at, but the number one most important metric when analyzing whether you want to connect to a Lightning node or not is uptime. So if you spend 5 minutes every day rebooting your node, you're done. You need to be up all the time, 100% of the time. You can't go down. Otherwise, you're not going to be, if that's your goal anyway, to be a well-connected routing node, you can't afford to be going down all the time. And my node, Raspberry Blitz, Cypher node, Umbrel, and all of the other projects of that nature just go down all the time, because they're basically just shell scripts that install a bunch of stuff in Docker containers and give you a fancy GUI on the front end. They don't do Start9 go a lot further than that. And I'm really excited to see what point 3 comes out with. Though, yeah, I've already made the disclaimer. I'm probably going to be working for them pretty soon. We're just finalizing up everything. But I wouldn't be working for them if I didn't believe in the project. Put it that way. I really do, and I've been shilling them since way before they approached me. Why is CSW so confident and committing a fraud by lying and yet not able to provide any concrete evidence? Either he knew Satoshi and knows he is no more. Surely he is not part of the Satoshi group. He has absolutely nothing to do with Satoshi Nakamoto. Craig Wright isn't worried about... Craig Wright knows what he isn't. He knows that he doesn't... He knows what people that aren't like him are capable of. And Satoshi Nakamoto is basically someone that had an idea and committed to that idea. And that idea required him to, at some point, burn his identity and sever all ties and links to it, because it would destroy the Bitcoin project if Satoshi came back. Satoshi has been tested in his commitment to that in the fork wars, because he could have shown up in the fork wars and picked a side and influenced things and been the Vitalik Buterin of Bitcoin. He hasn't done that. He's not shown up to say, I'm not Craig Wright. He didn't even show up to say, I'm not Dorian Nakamoto, though someone did fake it. Craig Wright, if that happened, Craig Wright, maybe there's an element of him that's a psyop that's trying to force Satoshi out of hiding. That could be true, but I don't think that's what Craig is doing. Craig Wright is trying to take credit for something he didn't do. He's brazen, he's ballsy. He doesn't really... Look, this guy, he's even said it on stage. When I read the white paper, when I wrote it. Like, the guy is just an idiot that lacks any basic intelligence that everyone that does have any intelligence knows as a con man. He's not worried about it. Like... He's committing fraud, but he never does it in a way where it actually matters. He just uses it to troll core developers and Cobra, who runs the Bitcoin.org website. Yale. I met a Bitcoin SVer in Miami. I was so done with shitcoiners in Miami. I just wanted to slap the guy in the face. I know I can't be asked either. Otherwise, he would at least know the right addresses that Satoshi owned and not just guess. Well, I thought all SVers were paid shills. How can someone be so delusional? Dude, people believe ridiculous stuff, man. I had a guy sit down across from me in Miami and just be like, Peter Todd works for the CIA. It's supposed to be peer-to-peer digital cash. You know, it's but like, and just hit me with all the stupid shit you read from SV trolls. Some people just believe that shit, man. You know, because sad truth is, some people are so, it's like Inception. Like, even when you're awake, if you've had the idea put into your consciousness that you're still asleep, you're going to fight reality, even though this time you're actually awake. Bitcoin is for the people that are actually awake, but some people just think everything that gets anywhere must be a government psyop. So Bitcoin is, these SVers think Bitcoin was great, but it got co-opted by the CIA and the government have taken it over and they made it have small blocks and they crippled it so that transaction fees would go up. So now the real Bitcoin is here and that's called Bitcoin SV. These people are just so committed to the idea that, no, wait, Bitcoin can't actually be the real Bitcoin because it's successful. And if it's successful, that means the government's behind it. Like, it's... I know why you're there, but you have to learn, like, sometimes you do actually win, and Bitcoin is winning. They're not all paid shills. Some of them are just fucking morons. Sorry to say it. Any estimation, thanks for tuning in, Justice Mental, any estimation on the amount of sats one has to commit to LN to start learning? You can start learning without committing anything, man. It's not like you're buying information. I mean, you can even, I've got a Raspberry Pi right here on testnet, and that's great. Get some testnet coins, learn. I don't suggest learning with money unless, you know, I mean, well, do it. You'll probably do fine. It's not that difficult. I mean, I was using Lightning in early 2018, and then I really didn't know what I was doing, and I did lose some Bitcoin then, but, you know, maybe $20 worth of Bitcoin. It wasn't the end of the world, but, you know, Lightning's pretty easy to use now. You won't lose stuff. I suggest, but I don't suggest using custodial wallets. You should definitely use non-custodial wallets. If you've got, the main one I'm going to recommend is always Moon. Annoyingly, I can't use it because my phone has Graphene OS on it, which doesn't have Google Play services on it, which means a bunch of apps don't work right. So I use BLW, Bitcoin Lightning Wallet, which is actually pretty good. If I want to get even lazier, then I use Phoenix. Phoenix makes Lightning a ton easier, and it's still non-custodial. And I wouldn't suggest anything more babyish than Phoenix, because after that you get actually custodial. And if you're using custodial Lightning wallets, you're just not using Bitcoin anymore, in my opinion. Do I think the Kleinman case was just a smokescreen? What is the Kleinman case? Remind me. That's the guy that died that Craig worked with, and there were stupid theories around that Kleinman was really Satoshi. Do you mind reminding me what that was actually? They love the digital cash line. I know they love it because they only focus on one definition of what is their definition of cash anyway? Cash just means it's a bearer instrument or a bearer asset. In Bitcoin, if you own the Bitcoin, they're your Bitcoin. No one's going to tell you otherwise. There's no identity to disagree with you. That's cash is unlinked from identity, and it's fungible, and its origin is irrelevant legally. So that's the same as how Bitcoin is set up. Like if I give you Bitcoin for something, it's not on you to go, but wait, what particular Bitcoin is this? Where did it come from? Who are you? There's none of these things come into it. So that's what it means to be cash. The insinuation that it's free to use it is just stupid. We know that miners aren't going to mine and secure the network if they don't get paid transaction fees. And these idiots are saying, let's make blocks infinitely big, keep transactions free. They don't understand that unless they fork their currency, which they will, but unless they fork their currency to be inflationary so that they can continue paying the miners, after another 4 or 5 difficulty adjustments, not difficulty adjustments. Well, back to the point of this video. We should check that in a minute, guys. After 4 or 5 halvings, the miners aren't going to be getting any money anymore. So, I mean, mining a block of Bitcoin gets you a lot of money. If you mine a Bitcoin block, you get 6 1/4 times $33,000. That's a lot of money. That's almost 200,000, I think. But if you mine a Bitcoin Cash block, you're getting 6 1/4 times what, $400 or something. That's nothing. That's absolutely nothing. That's why no one does it. And that's going to half to 3 1/8, and then that's going to half again. So they're going to have a difficult decision. Oh, miners aren't getting any money anymore. we're going to have to fork our currency so that we don't actually half anymore, because that's the payment for the miners, and we've kept blocks really big so no one has to pay any transaction fees. So how are you going to pay your miners? I mean, these people are already that dumb that they think that small blocks as a means of paying miners is something you can just get rid of. Like, I mean, it's just so stupid. It's so short-sighted. How are you going to secure the network in 2050 if blocks are enormous and no one's paying any transaction fees? Because there's no block reward anymore. Miners are getting less than 1 coin every time they mine a block. I mean, the price number go up, but it don't go up that much. Anyway, they love the idea that more transactions, more utility, more value. Yeah, they just don't get it. Bitcoin transactions final settlement. We can do 1 billion transactions in the Lightning Network for every 1 transaction, that happens main chain. We'll do that. We're not going to try and scale Bitcoin layer 0 up so that there's 1 billion transactions within every block. That'll just be stupid. The anti-success cargo cultists, LMAO. Exactly. Vaxaholics Anonymous. What's your thoughts on the Mycelium wallet? I need to look at it again. It was my favorite wallet, then it was shit, and then I think they overhauled it and made it amazing again. Not sure about the third part of that story. So I tip my hat to them. I loved them back in the day. They were my favorite. They were paying homage to the beautiful natural fungal element of how Bitcoin spreads around and is decentralized, like natural internets, as they used to call it. I'm a big fan of Paul Stamets. I love that whole mushroom. I can go down that mushroom rabbit hole forever. They're amazing. So Mycelium, I loved it. I thought, yeah, you're on the right track here. It's like Brandon Quittem with Bitcoin is Mycelium. He wrote an article on it. But yeah, they did some stupid stuff. I forget what it was, but I wouldn't have used them since then. And then I think they cleaned up their act, but I don't know what they're really doing now. I don't think it's about those kind of wallets anymore. I really do think it's about running your own node on your own server and connecting to it using your phone. I can just connect to my Umbrel node using my phone. I'm not, even though I'm shilling start 9 here, I don't actually have any Bitcoin on my start 9 yet. I'm waiting for the new release. Trying to plan a channel for my store, for my family, just for the freedom of it. Do it, man. If you want, just get a BTC Pay server set up. I would suggest doing it on a Start 9 Embassy rather than Umbrel, just because it's more reliable. And reliability is really important, man. It's annoying when you have this new, really amazing thing you're excited about, but then you just have to take credit card because it's just not working. Reliability is important. Anyway, let's check let's go and check where we are at with regard to the mempool. So we did find 2 more blocks. We found 451 and 452. How many blocks remain, guys? Let's look at my favorite dashboard, the Clark Moody dashboard. 20 blocks left. We have 20 blocks that remain, guys. We are getting there. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe it will show up in this stream, though it seems pretty unlikely. But at the same time, who knows? If one of those operations is about to get set up, I think they are about to get set up pretty soon because they want to be able to hit the ground running and take advantage of this massive difficulty drop. So they're not going to be delaying, I think. Let me just turn that back on again. Let's head back there. Yep. Super sketchy Mycelium on iOS. Android worked fine. Sketchy like you mean like virus riddled, or just like it didn't, it was buggy. Which do you mean, Das Record? Love your talks on this channel. Thank you so much, man. I'm sorry. Our big apologies to everyone that's subscribed lately. I just haven't had much time to do videos. I've got conferences to plan, and I've got to move my family around. Not easy, but really appreciate all the new subs to the channel. I came to know about you after the Taproot client. Where have you been all this time? Yeah, I've just been lurking, man. Eventually, Bitcoin will call you. It may ask a favor of you. That day may never come, but if and when it does, you cannot refuse it. Remember that. You are Bitcoin's immune system. Brandon Quittem, the mushroom guy. Yeah, we love him. Excellent, thanks. I've got more confidence in what I'm using in that case. Yeah, you were asking about Mycelium. Yeah, and you're in the middle of learning and saving towards running a node and possibly a mining rig. I've a lot more learning to do prior. If you're running a mining rig, I hope you have cheap electricity. That's even if you don't, that's not a reason not to do it. There's a great guide. Let me try and find it. Someone posted it earlier. There's a great a great guide on mining at home for KYC free Bitcoin. And mining is worth doing even if you pay a lot for your electricity. So I don't want to discourage it. I'm just going to find that guide because it was posted earlier. I'm just scrolling down my Twitter now. Apologies for the dead air here, but it's a really good article. Actually, I'm just going to Google it. I think I can find it. Mining at home for KYC free Bitcoin. Yeah, I got it. Here we are. I'm just going to drop that in the chat. Please check that out if you want to mine at home for KYC free Bitcoin. It's a good thing to have. And if you have cheap electricity, then go hard on it. There'll be some miners hitting the market right now. If you can find a link, especially if you know someone in China who speaks the language, get some cheap miners. Sorry about the cough, guys. Yeah, and tell me a little bit about your setup, Vaxaholics Anonymous. How realistic is it for you? Can you repurpose an old laptop or something? I don't. If you want to set up a proper node, I suggest the embassy route because they're actually reliable. But that's still going to cost you maybe $200-300 American. But it's worth doing. But not if that's I don't know where you're from. If that's a month's salary for you, then it might not be worth it. Especially if you can repurpose an old laptop. Let me know a bit more about your setup there. BTC Pay Server is a gift to society. I know, it's so beautiful, and it was done as a reactionary move against the assholes BitPay. Godfather, yeah, someone caught the reference. Google an article called "Mining for the Streets." All right, you'll do that. Did you get to Calgary yet? Haven't been to Calgary. Never been to anywhere outside of BC. Permanent year. I mean, within Canada at least. Year-round water source flowing at a decent rate. All right, sounds like you got hydropower around you. You got good electricity. Hey, Trinity, how you doing? Thank you for that. Very much appreciated. No worries, bro. Cough, cough. Yeah, I don't know how to mute this. It's not like on Zoom where I just hit Apple Shift A and it mutes stuff. So I'm Jimmy Songing, everyone. I'm coughing into the microphone. I'm sorry about that. Not out of my scope, that price. Wales, buddy. Loads of rainfall. Wales, you're in Wales? Cool. I've got a really close friend, a Bitcoin friend in Wales. He lives up in North Wales. I don't know what town exactly. But yeah, I love Wales. Been there a lot. I'm originally from London. But definitely, I love the south part of Wales. You know, there's a music festival I played at there called Beach Break, which was awesome. Really good. So I'm just going to... How do I mute this thing again? Because I need to have a good cough. A very good cough. All right, got it out. Now let's head back to the blocks. So it's been 20 minutes since the last block. We're still looking like it's going to be a 20-minute, at least 20. Well, minus 30% difficulty adjustment. It's unreal. Let's chill this a little bit. I'm going to be speaking at this Bitcoin Standard Conference down in Mexico in August. I'm going to be bringing my family. We're going to turn it into a holiday. We're even going to check it out as a place to live. We've got Ugly Old Goat. We got Tone Vase speaking at it. He's going to be a moderator on a bunch of the panels. The whole thing, I've got to say, is really deep Bitcoin maximalist and intellectual conference. It's quite small, and it's got a lot of people. It's got a lot of in-depth discussions and comparisons with and studies of what life under the gold standard was actually like, how organic it was, how the government, how it's sort of defined as when the government started holding gold in reserves, but that's not really what it was. It was an organic thing. It was people genuinely thinking, what's this worth in gold? That was their reference for measuring value. And eventually that became so prevalent that it got picked up by the government and they started holding gold in reserves. And that's the gold standard is considered to be just because the government did it, but it wasn't. It came from humans first. So that's just like with hyper-Bitcoinization. It's the fact that we're all using Bitcoin organically, and eventually central banks will start to hold it. And now you've got big companies holding it on their balance sheet as well, or in their treasuries. So, yeah, we got Jimmy Song. Jimmy Song's doing a course as well, programming Bitcoin. You can go to that. He won't just be at the conference. He's running his seminar. That's what I should call it. Knut, I don't know who that guy is. Giacomo, legend. Don't know who this guy is. I don't know who all these guys are. He's an old guy. He's been in the space for ages. Thomas Hunt. You might know Mad Bitcoins. There's me. I don't know these people. Guy Swan, he's kind of a legend. That's Giacomo's wife, Mia. Guy Swan is the guy that was shaming someone the other day for, some Bcasher who was like, hey, I'd never force consensus change on the Bitcoin network. And Guy Swan said, a hard fork is literally a consensus change on the network. And it was a nice little takedown. And Lamar's going to be there. He's the guy that does Black Bitcoin Billionaires on Clubhouse, a very popular Bitcoin education thing. Let's see where we're at with the blocks. Still, we're barely moving, guys. I should have done this video with one block to go, but I think I would have been asleep at that point. So let's turn back on the camera. You were born in Wales. Wow. Cough, cough. Yeah, I know it well. The beach break event at Pendine. Is that the name of the area? Because it was just beautiful, like sunshine. It was like being on a Caribbean island, and I was like, what? Because we make fun of Wales, us English people. We make fun of the Welsh a lot, but this mainly for raining all the time. But this was just the most perfect weather I've ever seen. There's palm trees there, right? There's a little microclimate. You're from Cardiganshire, really? Is that a joke? Cardiganshire? Really? Somewhere's called that? UK answer to the Spanish Riviera in the summer. Dude, I agree. It's just absolutely beautiful. Though I do miss Spain. Wow. I never thought I'd say it, but I do miss Europe. So, yeah, that's, I think I'm disconnecting. Sorry. My YouTube just said my connection went bad there. Yeah, it looks like we're not going to actually take in the Bitcoin New Year or 2-week New Year. It doesn't look like it's going to happen here in the stream. I'm sorry to say. I mean, we kind of all knew that though, right? Like, I'm not going to sit here until, when is it? 20 blocks from now. Even at the best of times, that would take 3 hours and 20 minutes. And given that we're worse than that, it was probably more like 7 hours. Minus 30%? No, it'd be about 5 hours. So, yeah, we're a long way off from the difficulty adjustment. Your connection is fine. We're doing an adjustment stream here. Gonna be a late one here in Eastern Standard Time. I know, dude, that would be about 4 a.m. for you. I don't think we're gonna make that, man. Especially you got work in the morning. Is there anyone here that doesn't know why the difficulty adjustment happens, what it is exactly? I'd love to explain that. I was going to make a video on it anyway. So, just in case anyone's watching this after the fact and wants to know, the difficulty adjustment is Bitcoin has a predictable inflation rate. And it means every 10 minutes, for the first 4 years, every 10 minutes we would have another 50 Bitcoins created. And after the 4 years of that, that would half to 25 Bitcoins every 10 minutes. And this gives Bitcoin and it would half every 4 years. But this gives Bitcoin a completely predictable inflation rate. But the 10-minute period is an estimation of, is every 10 minutes a miner is mining a block, and the difficulty of finding that block is set by the network, and it is adjusted in accordance with how many people are trying to solve the problem of finding that block. So if too many so let's just start at a random point in time. Blocks are coming in every 10 minutes. Nothing changes. But then if there's a 2-week period, or a period of 2016 blocks where they start coming in, let's say twice as fast, every 5 minutes someone finds a block. What that means is twice as many people started mining, or, well, not twice as many people, but twice the hash rate is being used on the network. And that means the coins are arriving too fast. because there's too many blocks coming too fast. So what the network does automatically is it starts demanding, it starts making twice the demands on the miners. They have to do twice as much work on average to figure out the same thing, how to find a block. So what the network does is it adjusts, makes it twice as difficult to find a block, and as a result of that, it goes back to being every 10 minutes again. Now, if a bunch of miners turn off, the opposite happens. Blocks slow down for a while. The network sees it and says, oh, there's not enough hash rate. It's too difficult. We need to make this easier to find blocks. That's what's happening now. And we've got the biggest ever going offline event of miners in the Bitcoin network because China's just kicked out all of their miners. So it looks like about 30% this period, and some were leaving in the previous period. So we've had a lot, maybe 50% of the miners go offline and relocate or become in the process of relocating. So we're having a rough period here. This is as rough as it gets for Bitcoin. You know, we're barely even noticing, like, transaction fees went up a bit. Oh dear, you know, oh no. Anyway, so that's it. That's what the difficulty adjustment is. It keeps the inflation rate predictable, and it means that more people mining doesn't mean more Bitcoin. It might mean a little bit more for a short period, but it averages out again very quickly. Anyway, tomorrow is Saturday. Yeah, good point. I'm too neat to understand weekends, bro. We did actually figure out what the maximum downward difficulty adjustment is. It's 75%. No, sorry. Oh, yeah, I can't remember whether I'm on the right or wrong side of this. It's 75%, yes, because it's not 25%, because we're already dropping more than that. Yeah, thanks, Conor McGregor. Real? You the real Conor McGregor? Who the fuck is this guy? Sorry. Yeah, 75% it is. I can't remember who made the mistake and corrected themselves. I think it's Max Kaiser, actually. But yeah, it's 75%. Hopefully that never happens. Yeah, that would be a little bit more disruptive for sure. Super neat. Happy you found a job. Welcome to the wage cage. Bro, I'm just getting paid to do what I wanted to do anyway. So I don't know. We couldn't find a way to hire a Canadian, an American company hiring a Canadian and putting them on the actual normal payroll. It was too complicated for either of us to figure out. So basically, I'm just going to be a contractor. So I don't know. If I want to walk away, I think I could. But, you know, I don't want to. I didn't take this job just to leave it. I should probably stop talking about it so much because we haven't actually finalized all the details yet. And it's probably not appropriate to start talking about it until I have. I don't know why my throat's so screwed up today. I should have brought some olive oil down. Anyway, what have we got here? I'm just going to check a couple of things. When I'm in the middle of stuff, just ignore the chat, says my girlfriend. She's probably got a good point there. I can't help it. I just have to read the chat. What else have I got here? Some stuff I might have to take care of pretty soon. Sorry about that. Am I right or wrong in thinking anyone left mining at the moment means more reward until the mining community... Yeah, exactly. Picking up the slack from what's leaving China. Is that how the difficulty adjustment works? Exactly. If you're mining... if you're mining, what you don't want is for everyone else to be mining, because then the network says, there's too many people mining, we're going to make it really difficult to find blocks in order to slow it back down, and then you get less. If everyone else stops mining, the network goes, we don't have enough people mining, we need to drop the difficulty, and then you can find Bitcoins more easily. You know, it's like if we could control the amount of gold there was in the earth, depending on how many people were mining gold, you know. So if gold worked the way Bitcoin does, you'd be actually able to relax about the mining of it, because if gold goes up in value, more people start mining gold, but the earth doesn't go, okay, there's less gold now because there's too many people mining it and we need to protect the inflation rate of it. Just more gold floods the market and the price drops again as a result. So demand goes up, then supply goes up. With Bitcoin, if demand goes up and more people start mining, supply doesn't go up because network adjusts to make it more difficult. So the supply stays the same. So that's a nice thing about Bitcoin. It works much better than precious metals in that regard. Yeah, American miners are absolutely uncorking champagne bottles about this. They're having such a good time. Over the next month over this month, and maybe for the next month or so, while all the hash rate relocates, they get to just mine so much Bitcoin, so much more than they otherwise would have. I don't think that it's a 1-to-1 ratio. I don't think if there's a 30% drop in hash rate, they mine 30% more Bitcoin. I don't think it works like that. I can't do the napkin math right now. I don't want to have you all watch while I just show you how appalling my arithmetic is. That would just be too embarrassing. Anyway, where are we at now? I'm really sorry about my throat, guys. I don't know why I'm so dried out. Probably the ice cream I had before I went streaming. All right. I think we are not going to make it. We're not going to have a good luck moment. We're only on block 452. When we started the stream, we were on 450. So, we were on 450. We've only found 2 blocks since this stream started. We've got another 20 to go. Doesn't look like it's going to happen this stream. What's the next Bitcoin war brewing? Covenants. We don't want over-the-top covenants. That's going to... Yeah, exactly. We don't want it. I'm still looking into it. I don't really want to give an ignorant opinion. But we don't want a situation where there's too elaborate a restriction on mechanisms by which you can spend coins that are in two multi-sigs that, essentially end up with us with a bifurcated network where governments are saying you can't actually spend these coins unless they go to this address. And that's an address that's, a 2 of 2 multi-sig, again, that, has to conform to conditions that we impose on it. And it's, check template verify looks all right, though, from what I've seen. And that's one covenant proposal. But I don't think check template verify is going to get the kind of traction that APO, any prev-out, or Caesar, cross-input signature aggregation are going to get. Those are great. Everyone loves them. Everyone wants them. They're very high on the priority list, and they can probably be done together, like Taproot and Schnorr Part 1. So we're going to get Schnorr Part 2. The next Bitcoin war, though, I don't know. I think it's fought in meat space. I don't think it's fought on the protocol level. I think Bitcoin is fine on the protocol level. It will carry on doing great. The one thing I'm worried about is this stupid mining council. It's just so stupid. I'm so annoyed by Michael Saylor over it. Voluntarily saying, I'm using green energy. I'm so clean. Please, Daddy Elon Musk, please, can you accept me? Can you accept my Bitcoins for Tesla again? I can't believe we're trying to please these people. They don't like us. They will never accept us. And now we have the mining council. We have precedents set where miners actually have to apologize for their energy consumption. There's no other industry in the world. Do we make the taxi union of New York say, oh, don't worry, we're driving 20% of our cars are Priuses. The other 80%, we're slowly decreasing our ICB. Screw that, man. No other industry has to apologize for their energy the distribution of how they consume energy. Why are Bitcoiners accepting this? No, we use whatever energy is available to us. And by the way, we're greener than any of you, so your arguments were never valid in the first place. Is that a Nord Electro 73? No, it's a Nord Stage 1. But not a bad eye there. It's painted, so it's pretty unique. One day I'll show some people. I'll show you what it can do. If you listen to the spaces, it was surprisingly based. Yeah, but I don't care if it's based now. It's not going to be based in the future. It's a reverse co-opting. It introduces you to super maxi ideas and gives you laser eyes. Yeah, I know, man. Look, I think it'll be all right, but it's definitely I think it's a central point of failure. The mining council that won't be bad. It won't be as much of an Achilles heel that it needs to be to take out Bitcoin, but it's definitely an annoying thing. A bunch of hash rate is leaving China. If it goes to America or countries that are dominated by American, American stuff, Like if there are countries that are influenced, like Canada is basically culturally American, except with loads of extra socialism thrown in. If America says, oh, Bitcoin miners have to meet all these energy consumption quotas, and if they do, here's some fucking extra money. If they do that, Canada will do that too. Europe will do that too. It's just, that's so annoying. It fucks up the incentive of what miners do so bad. Then it doesn't matter about block rewards and transaction fees and even, it doesn't matter because you're getting money from the government then. So that's actually the best way for a government to co-opt Bitcoin, in my opinion. And I hate the fact that the door is now open to it because of Elon Musk and then Michael Saylor trying to pander to it. For me, it's just high time preference. We could have said, Michael Saylor should have joined in and said, fuck off, Elon Musk. We're never going to have, we don't care. We don't want you back, even if we do get bigger than 50% renewable energy. We don't want you back. Go away, have fun pumping Doge, have fun becoming poor. That's what our reaction should have been. Instead, we try to cater to it. Now we look weak, and now it's just a point of attack. I would be happy if I was trying to destroy Bitcoin and I saw the mining council, I'd be like, I can fuck with Bitcoin with this. Yeah, the piano. Have fun staying poor, Elon Musk. I did love it when someone tweeted that at him. It was so funny. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was the beginning of that meme too. Like, it hadn't been around for that long. So when I saw someone just tweet at Elon, have fun staying poor, it was just so good. He'd only just become the richest man in the world, I think, like a month previous or something. But God, I'm just so pissed off with Elon Musk, man. Just what a crybaby. He's just got these hurt feelings. So he's just gonna pump Doge all day. I'm just so disgusted by the guy. I can't believe, like, I'm not quite Max Kaiser about it. Sidechain related. You think that's the next BIP 300? No, that's not covenants. That's drive chains, dude. Drive chains are annoying. I don't think I support them. Like, I think it's a little reckless. I know Adam Back is like, let's fucking go when it comes to drive chains. It gives us a lot. I just think if you're going to add all these complicated features to Bitcoin, and, first off, I don't think that there's a massive need to look at what shitcoins are doing and treat it with any validity and say, we need to have that functionality in Bitcoin, in a way that doesn't really fuck with the base layer. Like, we need it yesterday. Like, I don't think there's anything the shitcoins are doing that I'm like, oh God, it hurts so bad that Bitcoin isn't able to do that. So I'd be hesitant to try and fuck with stuff in Bitcoin to allow for those kinds of functions, because the tail can wag the dog. And if you start adding these ridiculous things into Bitcoin, without thinking long and hard about it first, you can distort the incentives. And I haven't really found out a way to articulate this yet, so I will go into it more as people push. But there's already this victim mentality amongst the people pushing BIP 300. They're like, oh, everyone's censoring us and blocking us. I'm like, no, dude, I'm not doing that. Like, I've heard your proposal. It's kind of risky. I'm not just saying, oh, let's censor. And, everyone always goes on that everyone always likes to think they're a victim and that they're being censored and that their brilliant ideas, the whole world would accept them, but there's censorship, and that's what the big blockers always did. And I was like, no, yes, you are being censored on Reddit Bitcoin, and yes, you are being censored on bitcointalk.org, and yeah, but that doesn't mean your idea is good. It just means that people are sick of hearing about it, and I don't agree with censorship. And I've genuinely apologized to Bcashers before for being booted off all the forums and having their posts deleted. But I'm like, look, everything I post on Reddit Bitcoin gets deleted too. Like, I post something, no, your account's too new. Post it again. No, you can't do that. It needs to be over 24 hours. Post it again. No, you need to. You've got the word Ethereum in your title. And I'm like, but I was posting a video called Ethereum is a shitcoin on the Bitcoin subreddit. It's all right, fine. Like, every time I post on Bitcoin's Reddit, I have to message a mod personally that I know and go, can you bring this post up? And then they go, all right, I put it up there for you. I got rid of I undeleted it, but now because it's not a new post, because it's 12 hours old, no one's ever going to see it. So I'm pretty much done with Reddit. But nonetheless, I apologize to the Bcashers that got banned off those subreddits because it sucks. Like, you're arguing and then you just get your post deleted. It's annoying, but it always hurts them when I'm like, it doesn't mean your idea was good though, dude. You're still focused on making Bitcoin a medium of exchange that gets accepted everywhere, and you don't give a shit about anything else. And everything else is the important and unique stuff, and the medium of exchange shit is just everywhere and it's ubiquitous, and we've got 1 billion of them already. Who cares about mediums of exchange? It's the most trivial use case for money. Anyway, Elon is finished. He will look back to as a client. Yeah, Elon Musk is done. Bitcoin is the killer of these kinds of types. And elongated Pinocchio. He is a fraud. Some do a meme or a cheap rip-off of NFT of this. Yeah, what the elongate Pinocchio thing. He's just stupid, man. I honestly can't believe he's got as far as he has. He's just really not all that bright. Elon is really butthurt by the memes, so let's make more. I think so. Yeah, he's king of the memes, so that's obviously his battleground. You don't feel bad at all. Say something stupid. Something stupid? Is that what you wanted me to say, Yale? Elongated Pinocchio. Didn't Elon say once, though, if there's ever a scandal about me, I want it to be called the Elongate? What, like, I don't want to make that joke. That's not appropriate. Not appropriate. Anyway, Grimes, I don't know. Yeah, I knew you were going to say that, Yale. I knew that was coming. Oh, God. All right, well, you're welcome to read the chat. I can't read that out here. Of my 24 viewers, someone has a kid around. So I have to be PG or U. Those are the video ratings in the UK. You have rated R in America. Anyway, let's look at the blockchain again. Still no blocks, guys. I got to figure out how to flick between these two modes. Still no blocks. It's been 43 minutes since a block. Where are we at here? Have we dropped again? Yeah, we're down to... earlier today, it was minus 27.7. The predicted drop. Now it's down to minus 28.1. We've dropped 0.4%. We've dropped in our estimated difficulty change, another minus 0.4% in only a couple of hours. Hash rate seems to actually be increasingly going offline at the moment, which is amazing. We haven't actually bottomed out yet by the look of it. That's amazing. So at least it's happening gradually. If we've got to carry on, it's nice that we're going to reset the difficulty here. If it starts to drop, another 10, 20%, that starts to become a little scary, because at that point, if enough hashing power is staying in China and it's just offline temporarily, then they can do 51% attacks for a bit. The network will fight it off, but that will be the most severe and deep technical attack that Bitcoin has ever faced, will be that. It can happen, guys. I don't want to actually say that it's impossible, because it's actually more likely than I'd like at the moment. When the difficulty drops like this, yes, we go down to a difficulty we were at. Let me just have a look. Let's have a look here. As you can see, we're dropping to a difficulty that we were at halfway through 2020. But in this period here, a bunch of ASICs were manufactured that didn't exist here. Now those have all gone offline, and we're back at this difficulty again, but with all of this stuff in existence, just sitting around not doing anything. That means the potential for an attack is much higher. When your difficulty is at the highest rate possible, people are attacking you. If people are attacking you, they're not getting anywhere with their attack. And you can assume that pretty much when you're at the all-time high hash rate, all of the miners that exist in the world are mining Bitcoin, or they're owned by a couple of idiots, trying to attack you and get lucky. But when you drop a bunch from the all-time high, this is the problem. All of this hash rate here that has been lost is now potentially going to be used to attack Bitcoin. And it's not 50% of the hash rate. It's something like 30% that we've fallen, but it's not a nice situation really to be in. So I'll be relieved when we start to creep back up to the all-time highs again. And the next month or so is going to be a little risky. Nonetheless, if we do get 51% attacked, the price will absolutely tank, and I will buy a shitload of Bitcoin when it does, because Bitcoin tanking because of a 51% attack is scary, but it's not something that cannot be defeated. So it's another one of those events where the people that understand what's going on will position themselves to benefit from it. Though obviously it depends how it happens, and it depends how the network responds to it. But it's going to be an interesting situation. Yeah, state attack. Any thoughts on XMR being supported by Samurai? Looking forward to your Tone Vase video. Yeah, look, I respect... This is the thing. In a perfect world, Monero has a use case, and that it's only going to exist for a while. But if during the period where it does, I encourage you to use Monero for the purpose it can be used for. And I can't talk about that, because that's the fucking point of what Monero does. I can't really advocate for what it enables because I don't want to get myself in trouble. But go ahead and use it for that. But don't use it in lieu of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin doesn't do the same thing. It's not a store of value. It's not perfectly engineered money. It's just private. Okay? And it's not perfectly private either. But don't use it as a long-term store of value, because it's just not. And in a world of hypey shitcoins and, tribal attacks between different camps, there's nothing I have to just tell everyone, just buy Bitcoin and ignore everything else. Everything else is a scam. Monero is the annoying exception because it isn't a scam. It genuinely does have a use case, and it's cryptographically amazing what it does. Ring signatures are amazing, and I find Monero to be an impressive project, but I don't own any, and I wouldn't tell anyone else to own any, because most of the claims people make are stupid when it comes to it, because they're being disingenuous and they want it to pump and they want it to be like Bitcoin when it comes to its market. Monero is not number go up technology. That's not what it is. It's a privacy coin, and it can be used in certain ways, even ways where it makes sense to own some for a while. Because if you just buy some Monero if and when you need it and use it as a sort of privacy utility token, that's no good, because you're taking away a lot of the privacy benefits of it by using it immediately after you buy it. So it might even make sense to own a little bit of Monero just in case you need some for certain circumstances, and you don't want to have to buy it as and when you need it. You want to hold it and break at least the timing link. There are justifications and certain use cases for it, but it's a centralized community. You've got to understand that. Just because it says it's a decentralized cryptocurrency doesn't mean it is. Monero is not really decentralized. It does hard forks all the time, and they seem to go down fairly unilaterally. That's not the case in Bitcoin, and that's because Bitcoin's actually decentralized. Just because someone says it's decentralized doesn't mean it is. Basically, your big trade-off with Monero is centralization in order to achieve privacy. But then on top of that, you have scaling, which is absolutely impossible. You cannot do it. I want to make sure I'm understanding this correctly. Salt nose. I don't know why Conor McGregor, is that some sort of cocaine reference? No idea. I don't know why my throat's fucked up, but I promise I'm not doing cocaine. I think I'm just having a very dehydrated day. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. Scaling in Monero is just so screwed up, because this is how cryptographic ring. If I can just practice for my video a little bit, when you when you make a cryptographic ring signature transaction, which is how Bitcoin works. Well, how Monero works. This is how a Bitcoin transaction works. You got an input and you got an output. You can have multiple inputs, but they're all used, and you can have multiple outputs, but you don't have decoy inputs, and that's what a ring signature is. What happens in Monero is there's an output. Sure, that's where the Monero is getting sent to, but the input is coming from coins you genuinely have, from Monero you generally have, but you have to add, there'll be, I think it's 9 decoy inputs that are just transactions that existed in Monero's blockchain beforehand. And any one of those could have been the input that had the Monero to spend, and there's no way of anyone knowing which one it is. But there's a way to protect from double spends whereby the actual input that you used had a key image that's unique to it. And as a result of this whole setup, instead of having what Bitcoin has, which is a UTXO set, which is you have a database of all the unspent outputs that people can actually validly spend on the network, Monero has to have a database of all the transactions, including the spent ones. Now that scales to infinity. Bitcoin's UTXO set isn't going to increase to infinity because there's a limited amount, and the Satoshi is an indivisible unit. There is, even if every Satoshi was an unspent transaction output, there's a limit to that number. Monero doesn't have that limit because transactions can go on to infinity, which means just the sheer nature of it means in the long run with Monero, if it gets successful, and right now there's only like 3 transactions every block in Monero, but if everyone's doing transactions in Monero and it goes on for years and there's just a massive amount of transactions that everyone has to reference, when you're verifying a Monero transaction, you have to find a whole bunch of transactions from the past and verify all of them. And you have to look through an entire massive database every time you do it. So it's about, I want to say it's like 10 or 100 times more inefficient and unscalable than Bitcoin right off the bat, just with that alone. And none of the solutions presented have something that isn't an unacceptable trade-off, like using a continually small snapshot of transactions with which to use in your ring signature. None of them do that because none of them are safe. Because if you do that becomes gameable. People can start tricking you and figuring out what subset of transactions you're using. The only way to keep it genuinely, reliably anonymous is, or private rather, I should say, is that people genuinely have to be able to pick randomly from any one of the transactions in Monero's history in order to, as decoy transactions. So this whole design of it means that in the future, if Monero takes off, it will die as a result of its popularity and its success, because everyone will be pushed to using SPV nodes, because it's going to be like Ethereum again when no one can run nodes. And when that's the case, you're relying on third parties. And when you're relying on third parties, then the whole privacy issue becomes between you and the third party. And then you're not really private anymore. You're fucked. So that's why Monero is it has a utility today, which is more than I can say for any other altcoin, but it can't last. And it's a tragedy. It really is. Like, in a perfect world where we could figure out a solution to some of these problems and figure out how to scale it, actually Monero could have been the real thing. It could have been the real deal, but there's a reason we don't have privacy in the base layer. And also, bear in mind, it gets harder to verify the total supply, so you do have greater risk of inflation bugs and stuff going on in Monero too. I think I'm right to say that, though. Put an asterisk next to that in your head. I don't want to make a mistake there. That is the problem with having confidential transactions or ring signatures in Bitcoin. That's one of the reasons we don't want it, because everyone wants privacy on the base layer. Of course we want that in Bitcoin, but the trade-offs are just so damn bad, and so we have to use awful stuff like CoinJoin and just hope that the Lightning Network's private. Do we believe this? Yale has just said. Peter Thiel, I don't know. XMR support was their warrant. Stay hardcore in BTC values. No fear, it's war. You were asking about Samurai, right? That's how I went off on that whole rant. Samurai are not scammers, but I don't know what the hell went wrong with that team, with the crew that work there. They are the stupidest bunch of idiots. I don't fair enough, Whirlpool's dope, but I feel like their fucking Twitter account is run by a stupid 11-year-old boy who hates his stepdad, who's just, you're not my real dad. I feel like that is the level of maturity they operate at. It's so fucking stupid. Every time I read one of their tweets, I feel like a part of my brain dies. I cannot deal with Samurai. I really just can't. And they tweeted a few years ago, they said, look, if we ever integrate an altcoin, you know that we've been compromised, and they made that their warrant canary. Now they're announcing support for atomic swaps to XMR. I think, I don't really think that means they are compromised. I think warrant canaries are crap for this reason. Their security theater, I don't believe that they're an effective way. Oh, hey, how's it going? Oh my god, my savior. Look, she brought me water. Thanks. Does it sound really bad? Is my throat like fucked? Or you just keep hearing me cough all the time?
No, I just tuned in and heard you dehydrated.
Oh, thanks, babe. Find yourself a girl that loves you like mine does. Oh god, guys. This is gonna make my life so much easier. Oh, this is great. Now I was gonna end the stream any minute because my throat's so screwed up, but oh man, that's better. So where were we at? Samurai. I've never used Whirlpool. I know that you have to upload your XPub basically to them, and that's such a massive compromise to your privacy that it doesn't defeat the point of what you're doing, but it gives you privacy in one area and ruins your privacy in another area. I think it's stupid. I think it's a stupid part of their design, and I know they get a lot of flame for it. I think the Wasabi Wallet team are professional. They don't ask for anything like that, and they don't keep attacking people. I don't know why Samurai feel the need to keep attacking Wasabi Wallet with false claims. I don't know why they do that, because Wasabi Wallet, you can attack open source software projects. Like, people have been freaking out at Umbrella the last couple of weeks because of something to do with their licensing where they're not technically open source. So what? Like, they still make a good product. Like, I'm mad at my Umbrella because my Lightning node goes offline twice a day, but I still appreciate them doing the project they do. And if I'm going to actually criticize them, it's going to be for a valid reason. And Samurai keep attacking Wasabi Wallet for no reason. They keep inventing all this bullshit. It's just annoying when you're trying to develop good software and you have people in the same community as you attacking you falsely. That's really annoying. It's wasting people's time, and I don't have respect for it. I don't have time for it. Obviously, this isn't a mark on the actual software that Samurai write, but they're just so annoying. They're so annoying. I genuinely think they're a net negative. Like, people talk about toxic maximalism causing problems. I don't think so. But when it comes to Samurai, that's not toxic maximalism. That's just stupid behavior and like time wasting. That's actually a waste in everyone's time. Anyway, sorry, I'm gonna glance at the chat again here. Don't you think swaps will be useful if we can move in and out of Monero, and what Samurai is doing will help Bitcoin community? No, I don't think so, because you have a bunch of... I think if you're going to use Monero, you have to actually sit on it for a while in order to not compromise what you're doing with it. If you buy Monero and then you use it and straight away, I actually think that's worse than just using coin-joined Bitcoin. And I know coin-joined Bitcoin leave you with these toxic waste outputs, like, because you can only do it in certain amounts. But honestly, obviously, if you use my method there, then you open yourself up to the risk of the exchange rate changing. But I don't think it's the revolution it's being touted to be. Moving in and out of Monero, I wish I could explain why exactly. Let me just pull up a tweet I read on this. I'm just gonna have a look because I wanna defer to someone that understands this stuff a little bit better. I.e. Giacomo Zucco. Hold on. Excuse me for the break here. I'm just gonna find a good tweet I read on this whole thing that was really enlightening. Oh, the holy fuck, Ethereum is broken. That was a great thread. I hope you guys saw that. Like, oh my god, is Ethereum broken? Alright, I don't think I'm gonna be able to find this tweet actually. It's probably in the tweets and replies section, annoyingly. Nope, I abandoned trying to find that thing. Did I turn this off? Nope. Yeah, sorry. Let me think about what that actually means. An atomic swap between Bitcoin and Monero. I mean, insofar as Samurai is a good privacy tool, the Monero that you receive will be unknown to anyone, given Monero's properties as well. And then your use of it should be fine, though I think it would be untraceable. Yeah, I think no people would be unable if you bought something in Monero with essentially having used your Bitcoin to atomic swap for some Monero, and then you buy something with Monero. I think as far as the merchant is concerned, they would have no idea that the original Bitcoin had anything to do with it. And I think even Samurai, if fairly confident, given the way Monero works, would also not be able to figure out what had happened. That's good, but I don't think that offers any advantage over what... I don't think any of that is lost if you were to just use coin-joined Bitcoin through Wasabi Wallet. So it may be... I think it's maybe just a little unnecessary. And it introduces the exchange rate fluctuation issue as well. But I don't think it helps the Bitcoin community. And I think it would also create downward pressure on Monero's price. But Monero isn't designed to be a store of value anyway. It's privacy as a utility. It's not number go up technology. So I don't know. I don't think it helps Monero, weirdly. I think it actually hurts Monero more than it helps it. XMR community claims you can check inflation bugs, I think. Yeah, I know they claim that. They also claim to be decentralized, which is one of the reasons I've dismissed them so much. But I'm trying to steel man Monero. I'm not trying to straw man it. Monero deserves so much more respect than Ethereum or than Bcash or Ripple or any of this garbage. Monero actually deserves some respect. It really does. Hello. Hi, Yevon. Block. We found a block. Oh my god. Sorry, guys. I've been rambling for 7 minutes. Here we go. We found a block. So what are we at? 689,453. That's pretty good. 7 minutes ago. How long? 19 blocks to go, guys. 19. How do you think this figure's going to drop any more here? Like we're going to hit minus 28.2, minus 28.3. Let's take bets. Who thinks we're going to make it all the way down to minus 28.5? Anyone think we're going to drop that low? Anyone? Let me just sort this out again. I think Samurai felt threatened because XMR community forked Bisq, and Samurai decided to bend the knee even when they didn't want to avoid competition. Let me understand that. Samurai felt threatened because XMR community forked Bisq. What do you mean XMR community forked Bisq? There's a separate Bisq because you can buy XMR on the regular Bisq. What's the issue there? Bisq is not averse to shitcoins. They have their own, don't they? The DAO. They're an exchange, so every exchange isn't necessarily a shitcoin exchange, so I don't hold it against them. I love Bisq. It's one of the best products. But why can you just tell me that, Joe Schmo? Why did XMR fork Bisq when you can already buy Bisq on the regular... Sorry, you can already buy XMR on the regular Bisq. Why would they do that? OPSEC for node operators, discuss. Run it over the Tor network, I guess. I know Luke would slap me for that, but yeah, just set up Tor, set up the proxy. It's not hard. Stop and Decrypt got a good guide for that. Run everything over the Tor network, or run an Umbrel node, or if you want an Umbrel node that works, run an Embassy. The fighting is childish. The fighting is childish, but it's one way. I've never seen Wasabi. I've never seen Wasabi actually. Like, I know what Shinobi does. Shinobi's part of the Wasabi team, so he's one of the people that gets flamed by Samurai. And every single day, I think he has to he gets re-blocked by Samurai, who post shit about him, but block him while they post it, and then unblock him to see what his response is. And then there was something every day where he was re-following them or something like that. I can't remember actually how it worked. New block. You just announced it again. Oh my god, a new block. I told you guys, maybe we're going to get lucky and we'll actually see it this stream. Let's turn it off. Here it is, guys. Look, in all its glory. Block 689454. I'm glad you were here to see it with me, guys. Look, it only had 656 transactions in it. That's because it was actually a fast one again. That's really weird. That's a low amount. Let's see if my node agrees with that. My node kind of does. This is my umbrella node instance of mempool.space, by the way. You can probably see up there, so that's just a local area network thing. Yeah. Well, we're getting there, hey? 18. Okay, the numbers crept back up again. Minus 28%. Let's switch this around again. Nope, that. There we go. What else have we got? Been noticing since a few adjustments, the majority of miners are mining every alternate epoch. They disappear, and after adjustment down, they come back. New game theory, thoughts? Yeah, I think it's just coincidence, Joe Schmo. I've noticed that too. I love it because it encourages best practice. When we were just staying the same every difficulty adjustment, going up 3%, dropping 2%, it didn't encourage, there were no silver linings to that, but having an insane period of minus 30% means everyone that's using stupid practices like Coinbase and blockchain.info had to stop because they can't seriously. I mean, what are the fees for next block right now? I mean, they're not actually very high. It's just 62 bytes, sats per byte gets you in the next block. It's not very high, but we're on a weekend now, so I like it. I like the massive gyrations because it means that you have a period where it's really expensive, so everyone has to adopt better practices, and then you have a period where it's really cheap, which means open a bunch of lightning channels. So yeah, I've actually been really liking it. I don't think it's a game theory thing. I think it's nothing that Bitcoin can't handle. I don't think it's, if they were going to 51% attack us, well, if they are, they're going to do it. I don't know exactly. I do know that it makes me want to buy a miner every 2 weeks, and then 2 weeks later it makes me glad I didn't. Address my knowledge gap. LND versus C Lightning. All right, fully interoperable. Need both. Does it matter? Okay, so this is the eternal question in Lightning. Do you run LND or C Lightning? I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I know that everyone offers both. I think that LND is generally more used and more understood. So if I had to err on the side of one over the other, I'd use LND rather than C Lightning. But I say that based on a hunch. I don't really know much more about the details than that. They're not fully interoperable. I don't for a minute want to know what it would be like restoring a backup of your LND channels in C Lightning. I don't even want to think about that, though it's probably possible. I don't think it matters. I think they're both very I think they're both very similar in the way they work. For a while they had some different features, but I think they've pretty much closed the gap between them. So I wish I knew more about that desk record. I wish I did. My Lightning knowledge is still really lacking. But I mean, so's my Bitcoin knowledge. So it takes a long time to address everything you want to address. Hi from Chicago. Hey, hi from Canada. Good night. Ciao bello. Grazie. I appreciate your time and your input. Yeah, you're welcome, man. Anytime. If Ethereum is especially broken lately, I hope someone will make a proper YouTube breaking it all down properly. Not everyone wants to be on Twitter. Alright, maybe I'll make I've done so many videos bashing Ethereum though, but maybe I will do another one given just how good that tweet was. New block, thanks Yale. I think I already celebrated that one. Important to remember that BISC DAO is actually just colored Bitcoin. That's the exact original purpose of colored Bitcoin. I didn't even know that. Thanks for telling me that. It's not. I don't think colored Bitcoin was ever a good thing though. That was a Mike Hearn proposal that we didn't want, right? Do we want that? Are you saying that is a good thing? I'm not really a big fan of it. You're new to my channel, then I'll look for it. Yeah, Andrew, look up the Ethereum shitcoin or shitcoin crypto rant. I don't know. I've done like 3. I think I've even got a playlist on shitcoins. So I'm always complaining about Ethereum. I've tried to just, I don't know. XMR community forked BISC to create a new DEX, which has a decentralized exchange for anyone, which has XMR as base currency, right? As currently to buy XMR, you have to go fiat, BTC, BTC. Okay, fair enough. Oh, I didn't realize that. So you can't on the regular BISC. Well, I assume not, but I'm just going to open up my BISC now. Kill my OPSEC. No, I don't have the wrong screen on. Oh yeah, of course, you can only buy BTC and sell BTC for fiat. and you can do BT. Yeah, good point. Sorry, man, I should have thought of that. Yeah, so they have XMR as the base currency. Fair enough. That's good on them for doing it, man. They can fork all the good. I wonder if you could have Lightning, because Lightning's chain agnostic. I wonder if you can have Lightning sitting on top of Monero. That'd be interesting. I don't know how that would work. God, can't think for a minute. I didn't know that. Thanks for the info, Joe Schmo. Yeah, I mean, I don't want this to be a Monero stream exactly, but it definitely was enlightening, some of the research I've had to do on it. It's going to be really interesting to see what Giacomo says about it. That's going to be on Tone's channel. I don't know when we'll do it. Probably Monday we'll make the video on Monero. It's just annoyingly, like, I'm not even saying this isn't true for Bitcoin. People buy stuff for the wrong reason. Like, Bitcoin is good at certain things, but it's not good, for example, if, you have some money and you want to make an investment and then sell in 3 months at a nice little profit. Bitcoin's not good for that. It's good if you can hold for 4 years, but it's not good if you can only hold for 4 months. So I have to tell people, like, Bitcoin's not necessarily right for you. If your plan is to just have more dollars in a few months, that's not a good idea, really. Like, and XMR, what people seem to think that is you're never going to have an XMR standard. You're not going to have a Monero standard. That's not going to happen, because it doesn't have that number go up technology, man. It's not digital gold. It's digital, I don't know what it is, like some anonymous cash kind of instrument. But not cash in all of the sophisticated understandings and definitions of what cash is. But Bitcoin is truly something different. 0-1 invention. I don't know what you mean by 0-1. Anyway, I think where are we at with this stream? There are no new blocks, but we did excitingly find some blocks there. Thanks for that dopamine rush, guys. I really enjoyed that. I think I should end the stream now, because I think I've run out of things to talk about. But Bitcoin is love, Bitcoin is life. Yes, it is. It exposed Shrek for the shitcoin that Shrek is. Thoughts on BIP 300? I did already do that, Conor McGregor. I think you introduce a bunch of incentive stuff to think about that I haven't really thought about yet, but I do. I'm a little bit. I'm not really that excited to do it, that I'm like chomping at the bit to actually start analyzing all the implications of that. Obviously, a lot of people are kind of excited about it because you have functionality, but you don't need to do it on the base chain. But the tail wags the dog, and stuff that happens, loosely connected to Bitcoin affect Bitcoin. So it has to be thought about, and I don't really want Bitcoin to have every feature under the sun or to enable every feature. I'm really happy with what it currently does. And yeah, I still want CISA and APO. I don't know if I want drive chains yet. But I'll think about it. That's my thoughts on it. My thoughts are that I need to think about it. Alex Vetsky phrases it as the internet was the precursor to Bitcoin. Yeah, I like that. I like that definition a lot. Yeah, this is the main thing that came out. The main thing that came out of the internet was Bitcoin. But if the internet collapses, we'll find a way to still have Bitcoin, I'd bet. I think Bitcoin is definitely much more significant than the internet. I'm so happy that it exists, and it's a wonderful thing. Anyway, I'm going to shoot off, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's a shame to do it because I just got the highest view count I think I've ever had, but definitely for this stream. Difficulty adjustment, very exciting. It's a good time in Bitcoin. This is the most we've ever been attacked, and we're shrugging it off like it, like it doesn't even matter. Ciao, Bitcoin Mechanic. Always a pleasure. Let us know how we could support your work. Yeah, you know what? I'll come up with some ways there. The main thing you can actually do to help me is post videos on your social media on my channel and just ask people to subscribe, because if I can get 1,000 subs, then I can monetize the YouTube channel. And even though YouTube is disgraceful and I don't really want to depend on them for any sort of income, it still helps, and it still helps me motivate. It helps motivate me to make channels. Eventually, I want to get everything self-hosted using an embassy, and then you'll have to download videos. Obviously, I won't be able to go live exactly, but I'm working with Start9 on some open source software, on incorporating that into the embassy. It's called Streamer, Stream A. And we could have that, and we could stream over Tor, and then we would not be dependent on YouTube anymore. There's some exciting stuff there. But anyway, if you want to support, just tell people to subscribe to the channel. That's the best thing that can happen for me, because right now, if I get a copyright claim or anything, I can't get a human. I can only get automated response from YouTube. The minute you have 1,000 subs, like, if your video gets taken down and you complain about it, an actual human being responds to you and says, all right, what's happened? Oh, it's just an error or something. So yeah, thanks for the stream. Thank you for watching, James Creevy. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate you watching. Have a great time. Tune in for the next one, and let me know if there's any videos you want me to make. And have a good night. Peace.